Hello everyone! Kumusta? I hope that you are all well. I want to share with you my 3 Cattleyas which I repotted last February 21. Today is March 24 and they are growing. I want to share my 1 month process or journey with these 3 Cattleyas when I repot them, when I first water and fertilize these Cattleyas, and even their growths now. I have a video when I unbox them, and if you haven't seen that video, I will include that in the description. And I will also insert a timestamp for you. They were all in coconut husk, and this first one had no new roots and no new growths, and I also did not see active root growth. The second one is a premium Cattleya, and it had a medium new growth. It also had a tiny new growth, but I did not see any new roots and active root growth. The third one is a small Cattleya, but it had the most pseudobulbs, and it also had active root growth. It also had new growth and lots of healthy roots. The first thing I did was to soak them in water before I remove the coconut husk. I will now start to remove the coconut husk, and it's very easy to damage the roots with this kind of medium, but I will be very careful, and let's see how much roots will I save. I think this coconut husk is still firm, and it will be harder to remove this because the roots will cling to the husk and you will also peel them. There's no need to repot this yet, but I'm just not sure how often can I water with this type of media. So I'll repot this anyway. I also see some slow release fertilizer here. This is the second Cattleya, and I have already removed the outer part of the coconut husk, but I find it harder now, so I used my pruner to cut the dead roots first and then some of the coconut husk. I am also peeling the coconut husk thinly so that I will not damage more roots. This is the last one, and I think it's going to be harder than the other two. You can see that the roots have also grown in the plastic pot, and I'm just cutting the dead roots first with my pruner so that I can remove the coconut husk and the Cattleya from this plastic pot. I will now pull this out, and you can see that there's also a wire that's in between the roots. And there are lots of roots here. The roots even circled the coconut husk. How can I remove this? I will be extra careful and try to save roots as much as I can. Here are the Cattleyas now. I have already cleaned them. I washed them and I also sprayed hydrogen peroxide. I will let this dry first and I'll just use a fan. They are already air dried and I will show you their roots now. This is the first one. It has nice roots but it has no active root growth or any new roots. This is the second one, and these are the roots that I saved. The growth here is also growing one tiny new root. And there are also tiny new growths. I hope that they'll continue to grow. And this is the last one. Lots of roots. And there are new growths. I will now plant the Cattleyas and I will be using these plastic pots. I have a video where I bought them. I will also include that. in the description. I will only use charcoal. I soaked it in water and smashed into small pieces. I bought charcoal at the sari-sari store for 10 pesos per pack. It's very cheap and it will not decompose for as long as I'm not sure, and it will also hold moisture. This is the first one, and as you can see, there are no new roots. There are open eyes, but I don't think that they are already growing. So I'll just position this at the center of the pot, and then I will add the charcoal. The first one is done, so I will now start with the second one, with the premium Cattleya. And this one has a growth that is also growing one new root, and there are also tiny new growths. And I will also position this at the center, and I will add charcoal. And this is the last one. It has the most pseudobulbs and lots of roots, and there are also new growths. I will also position this at the center, and of course, again, add charcoal. And I'm done. I will not water them yet. I will wait 7 days before I water them so that the wounds on the roots will dry out first, will heal first before I water them. Hello everyone! Today is February 28 and today will be the first day that I'll water these 3 Cattleyas. I will try not to wet the leaves. I will just water in the media or in the charcoal. I will water them thoroughly and then I will treat them just like my other orchids now. They are dry now, they are dehydrated, the pseudobulbs are wrinkled and limpy. This other one is already leaning at the side because it really is dehydrated. The other ones are fine, but the premium Cattleya with a weird pseudobulb is really limpy and dehydrated. And so far, I think that they will survive. The new growths of this little Cattleya here are growing. And that's it. I'm done. Hello everyone! Today is March 7 and I am done fertilizing all of my orchids including these Cattleyas. And I see that they are growing. This is now the first Cattleya that I repotted. Before, it had no new roots, no active root growth, but you see now that there are roots growing. This root here, I think, is already at least an inch long. And there's also new root growing here. And I also think that there are more roots growing, we just can't see them. This is now the second Cattleya, the premium Cattleya. And I think I'll just stake this first with my DIY Orchid Support, which I also have a video. I will also include that in the description. I have already staked the pseudobulb and let's see here. We can see that there are lots of new roots here. The tiny new growths when I first fertilized this Cattleya have already grown. They were so tiny and now one is opening its leaf. This one here at the front is also growing new roots. It had one root before, but now we can see that there's also another new root. And I also think that there are more roots inside that we can't see. And this is now the last Cattleya that we repotted. The new growths that we barely see before are now growing. They are already showing their leaves. They are taller and almost the same with the others. And there are also new roots. The root here is branching. I see that there is a new root within a root. I am happy with the growths that I've seen in the 3 Cattleyas and that I am able to share this with you. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy. Maraming salamat. Paalam. See you in my next videos.